Okay, Mark, why don't you introduce, you got 1 minute to introduce yourself.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Mark Yancey, and I'm a 35-year resident of Texas. I have 2 beautiful daughters, one at West Point, getting ready to graduate this year. I have been in the private sector, excuse me, I've been in the private sector for that many years. I have established, I'm on my 4th firm that I have started with others. The first 3 with multiple people. The last one, the one that I'm currently on today, is mine 100%. And so I love the great state of Texas. I love the Republican Party. I love the Constitution, and I'm looking forward to this opportunity going forward, competing for Mr. Cornyn's seat.
Is it on? Can you hear me?
Go ahead, Mr. Stovall.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Okay. I apologize for the duress. I own a company that does work in the oil field, and the weather kind of threw us for a wrench, and I got stuck with a client a little longer than I planned on. I would have changed clothes for it. My name's Dwayne Stovall. I'm 54 years old. I've been married for almost 29 years. I've got 3 children. I'm just every Texan. My family's been here for almost 200 years. We were here when it was Mexico. My heritage is that of men who fought for Texas independence, those great Texians we all talked about. I ran in 2014, for those of you that don't know. I pulled double digits in the Republican primary here in Texas on $70,000. There's a reason why you pull that much with that few dollars. I figured out that if you're truthful and you know what you're saying and you trust what you say, that it sticks. And I never really quit running. I am driven to do this because there's a very core value to this office that most people don't grasp, and it has one priority above all others, and that's to protect the best interest of this state. And that's my goal.
Very good. Okay, since we're doing this on the fly, I've got my list of questions that I had for one, so we'll do them for both. But what we'll do is we'll alternate on who gets to go first with each question. That way you get first shot at least half the questions. Mark, this is for you. Can you give us a little insight to the person that you are? A short anecdotal story that you might not normally share with the public.
I'm in the public. Let's see. I've been married, to my sweetheart from college. We now on our. She would kill me. She was here 34 years in April, and I'm have strong Christian values, and a real family person. I don't think these are things I'd share with anyone, but I love the state of Texas. I grew up in Florida, and I left Florida when I was 18, and then went to college, graduated, did some graduate work at Harvard, and then and have been here ever since. So I'm not sure that's anything really revealing other than.
Okay, that's your answer.
Yeah.
Dwayne, you need me to repeat the question? Give us a short anecdotal story that you might not normally share with the public.
I'll share with you something that maybe 100 people know.
Okay.
And it has to do with my personality. And it kind of gives you a little insight as to being a little bit fearless. Can you hear it? No.
Maybe y'all share that one mic.
Yeah, now, see, I can hear you now. Maybe 100 people know this. I've shared it with a couple of organizations this year. I haven't shared it with anybody for many, many, many years. When I was 20 years old, I asked Donald Trump for $30 million. I spent almost a year while I was in college doing a proposal, which is so funny because, folks, I'm not from up here, but I designed a proposal for a high-rise living project in Plano. And I put it all together, get it all really custom done, went to a federal building in Houston, did a video on myself, red power tie, I had hair back then, and sent it off. Now my wife and I have known each other since we were 13 and 15, so she was there for all of this. I actually only threw away the copy of the project that I had just like 4 years ago. I mean, it was right before everything started breaking loose. But what I'm going to tell you is this, and this will tie you to Donald Trump. He doesn't know me, and I don't know him. But I can tell you why I voted for the guy, and why I'll keep voting for him. And I don't really care what he does on Twitter. I'm 20 years old. I sent this package off to a Trump organization. I get a call from his personal assistant back then. Her name was Norma Forderer. I will never forget this woman. She used to joke that she raised the Donald. She hired him. He hired her back in the late 70s. She passed away here a few years ago. I never got to meet her. But over the course of about 3 months, we exchanged phone calls and letters, because we didn't have email back then. I figured when I got through talking to her and learned a lot about her, after she finally said we're not going to be able to do it, and I thought, well, wow, you're 20, you're the most smartest person in the world, right? So I thought, what's their problem? 3 months later, he filed bankruptcy for Taj Mahal. I look at my girlfriend, my wife now, and I said, well, there you go. That's the problem. He wasn't in shape to do it. What I'm telling you is, she was of such high character that for the rest of my life, all the way up to him getting into public office, I thought if he will hire her, I trust what he's doing, and that's what got me to support him in the beginning. That's a long distance story for you guys, but hardly anybody knows this. But that's the anecdote you get.
Very good. Dwayne, this is your question off the front here. Okay, we have all heard the term big tent, and Republican Party is just that. We're a big tent. We run the spectrum from left of center to right of Reagan or a libertarian, and everything is in between. Please define where you would place yourself in the spectrum.
I'm just a Texan. I have a problem with all of that. I've had a problem with the Republican Party. I'm a lifelong Little R Republican, and those of you that know, I've seen y'all at conventions. I've been a delegate at the convention for numerous years. I authored 2 of your planks on your current party platform, so you see how deeply I am invested in the grassroots. In my lifetime, because of where I was raised on the edge of Oakwood subdivision in Baytown, Texas, till I was 10 years old. If you walked out the front door of my house, you turned right, you spoke Spanish. If you turned left, it was all black. I went to Carver Jones Elementary School. There was an all-black high school converted to an elementary school after desegregation. The white kids got bussed in at 8 o'clock in the morning. When I hear the term minority outreach, it offends me to my bone marrow. Because if you don't have a message, the message is everything. And I'm pushing very hard to get the Republican Party leadership to follow this. You have a message that joins everyone. And we can do that. Conservative principles do that for everybody. There's really no reason to start breaking everybody off into factions. So I consider myself a Little R Republican, and I fit every conservative mold there is out there. I don't really need any of the labels.
Okay, remember we have like 1 minute for each one of these questions. So we're gonna be kind to Mark here, give him the same amount of time. But in the future, you got 1 minute. Okay, would you like me to repeat the question?
I think I got it. So I am a staunch conservative Republican. Have been. I grew up in a Republican family with conservative values, and I do think the Republican Party is over the years. If you look at you kind of draw a Venn diagram, and you look, the Republicans moved far to the right, and the Democrats doing all the nutty stuff they're doing over to the left. I think we as Republicans, we're what I don't like to see today is Republicans, and a lot of the planks that were put up on the board earlier in the state Republican planks, that you see some of the Republicans moving a little bit further more towards center, if you were to draw a Venn diagram, and have them perhaps move into that part of the diagram. That's not a blanket statement, but look, I think the Republican Party it stands for all the things that everyone in this room is a Republican, is a conservative Republican, and we need to stand by those values and keep enforcing those. We need to continue to fight a good fight against the Democrats in terms of what they're trying to do to this country. And so I'll stop there.
Got some time left. Okay, I've just been told we're running along, let me come up with a question, and this one will be for Mark. Okay, and Mark, no, that wouldn't work. That one's was specifically for you. Unfortunately, money is everything, as it seems. Being a part of this to be a viable candidate, you need it, and other resources to make a real run at this position you seek. Please give us a thumbnail sketch of your campaign war chest and include, but not limited to, any anticipated costs and how you are reaching the voters.
Right. Well, I can tell you I don't have 13 million like Cornyn. And so we're doing our very best. You know, my campaign has been driven by grassroots. We've reached out to folks in this room. A lot of people have come up to me in this room and they've donated money. We're taking in small donations. I start off by funding my own campaign, and so I loaned the campaign money. We got out of the gate back in my birthday's in September, so we started in early September with the campaign, and it was on my dime. And so I continue to do that, and fundraising is listen, when you're running up against an entrenched incumbent senator that's been in office for 18 plus years, that's a tall order. But I wouldn't be here if I didn't think that it could be done. So we have cash in the bank. We're spreading our word mostly through social media. And through trying to brand my name, so when people go into the ballot box and they see Yancey, they'll know what that person stands for and who that is. And that's a tall order, because in every the ballots are going to be, the names are going to be in different orders, right? So you've got to have some association with that person and understand what their bona fides are, and know what they represent.
Very good. Dwayne, you need me to repeat the question?
I don't think so. Just to give you context, I've got the largest campaign in the state. We've got between 1,000 and 1,500 volunteers. We started running Monday. Some of you may listen to The Answer, or some of the other stations up here may have heard some of the advertising. We started Monday. It's statewide. That's everywhere: Panhandle Valley, East Texas, all the metropolitan areas. I'll share this with you as another little nobody knows. We just found out this afternoon. When you have as many volunteers as I have, you tend to have people who are in other people's camps. I'll just leave it at that. So in some private meetings today in Austin at the speaker's office, there was some information provided to one of our volunteers that we are polling somewhere in the 30 percentile. If you know politics, you understand how important that is. That's massive, massive. And this far before we start voting, they're all hands on deck at Cornyn's camp, and there's a reason.
Very good. Hey, you came in under 3 seconds. That was good. I just want to thank both of y'all for being here.